There we go. All right, welcome everyone. We are gathering together again, and it's the start of a new month. And as I just mentioned to the group, we are transitioning from a wonderful month of horses and steeping ourselves in their energy and the fire horse year. And now it's March here right now. And no, it's not March, it's April.
Yeah.
It was March last month. It's April, and we're a little outside of time and space. Um, and for many of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, spring is bursting out. We're starting to see buds on the trees and little things popping up from the earth, and the birds are singing. We had the equinox not that long ago, so it's a time of growth. So we thought we would spend this April with seedlings. And tonight marks the opening of this ceremony time together where we can work on this planting process. And I'll go ahead and share my screen to help us have some visuals to connect with this beautiful, beautiful seedling energy. All right. So here we see some little seeds before they've been planted. So just as you would see them if they had dropped and hadn't grown yet in the earth, or you bought a little seed packet, or you've been saving seeds. So that's what we're looking at here. And to begin this ceremony of our time with seeds, Alex is going to read a short poem called The Seed Shop, and it's by Muriel Stewart.
Thank you.
Hmm.
The Seed Shop. Here in a quiet and dusty room they lie, faded as crumbled stone or shifting sand, forlorn as ashes, shriveled, scentless, dry, meadows and gardens running through my hand. In this brown husk of dale, a hawthorn dreams. A cedar in this narrow cell is thrust that will drink deeply of a century's streams. These lilies shall make summer on my dust. Here in their safe and simple house, deaf, sealed in their shells, a million roses leap. Here I can blow a garden with my breath, and in my hand a forest lies asleep.
Thank you. Right. So that poem helps us connect to the state of the seedling and the potential held within all of the seedlings. And with this in mind, we can kind of rest into this energy, opening our baby hearts and connecting here together as we gather for this opening ceremony where we can invite ourselves to nurture the intention and make the invitation to plant seeds this spring. And the seedlings calling, they could be physical seeds like we see here in this image. They could be energetic seeds, perhaps as Megan eloquently shared in the email. They could be patterns we want to change or big events we want to invite and nurture into our lives. Anything that is ready. We can plant our seeds together this month and update each other and support each other as we handle these first delicate moments. And as we sit with this, we can ask what resonates, what longs to be brought forth with the support of spring, of awakening, of the process of growing roots into Mother Earth, while also expanding up and out toward the sun and the sky. We can also have the gentle intention as we work with seeds and witness this process to embody the experience. So we feel it in our bodies, we are present, just like we are in our practice. We can practice intention, patience, observation, and love. And here we see a few images of just different options for cultivated seeds. Seeds can grow in many different environments. Some want to be planted outside in containers or pots on patios. Some like the shelter of a greenhouse. in little trays or cells, and some seedlings enjoy a sunny windowsill. So it just depends on each unique seedling, our climate, the timing. The environment can be as unique as all the seedlings. And here we see Robin and Craig's garden, and they have a mix of all kinds of different environments for the seedlings. We see covers that allow seedlings to get started earlier, so they may have to wait longer, and now they can begin this process. We see in earth planting, raised beds, just a mix of all of what's available. And these are Megan's little seedlings that she's recently planted. So they're bringing their seedling energy to us as we look through what's arising now. And to help inspire us, these are those same little seedlings today. So you can see how much they've already grown in their little microenvironments. And this is a calendula seed, and I love this because you can still see the hard shell of the seedling and then the little sprout bursting forth, and it hasn't sloughed off yet. So you see both in one. And these are from Craig's spring equinox dispachos. So you can see the spring equinox here captured. And then in the one with all of the little seeds, we see the seeds of intention added in. And this perfectly captures what we're working with at the beginning of this month. We can just breathe with this a little bit. This is the final slide. It is some soil, and we see this dark soil ready to receive the precious, patient seedlings and puppies. There's a puppy here. So the soil is just waiting for any little seedling that's ready, that we have the intention, the invitation, and the seedling can rest here. And as we consider our own seeds of intention, like we saw in Craig's despacho, again, we can ask ourselves, what resonates? What longs to be brought forth? What will we sow? What intentions, what invitations want to grow? And as we gaze upon this soil, we begin with and observe the pause, the rest, and the dormancy. Those moments when, as Megan mentioned, it seems as if nothing is happening, but life is taking root and rising up and beginning to transform and start the cycle that has been dormant within the seed. Thank you. So as we open this healing field, we may not know yet what we want to plant, or something may have arisen. So if there's anything that wants to be brought into this field, right in the beginning, please feel free to share it.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Might be a little loud where I am. If so, sorry. Um, that was beautiful. And thank you for that poem, Alex. So, seed shops are one of my weaknesses. We, um, we used to have a Baker Creek uh, retail store here. I don't know if you guys don't know what Baker Creek is, look it up online. It's this like they have these catalogs. You can ask to get one, and they're like this thick, and they're just full of the most gorgeous pictures of crazy flowers and fruits and vegetables and just the wildest plants you've ever seen. Um, and they sell the seeds to all of it. And so, anyhow, we used to have a retail store here locally, and it was like I had such a weakness for that place. But
Yeah.
as I listened to your poem, I realized, I mean, it really connected to that potential. Like you have a whole forest in your hand. It's true. And I felt, I feel so much grief, almost of like all that potential. And then just knowing, like, but only a few, right, will ever become that great tree or the tomato or whatever. And I don't know, I'm going to I'm going to contemplate why I'm feeling so much grief over that, um,
Mm.
Mhm.
rather than coming to a quick explanation now.
Mm.
But anyhow, also just wanted to put in the field, clearly I'm growing a flower garden and those seeds were zinnias. And so that's my project that I'm putting forth in this container this month. It's just
Mm.
flowers. So anyway, thank you.
Mm.
Hella, hella zinnias. And I actually have a bunch of cosmos and some sunflowers, maybe a few other things too. But oh, marigolds. Yeah, but we'll track the zinnias here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Mm. How long for flowers and them just getting started. Yeah. And the grief. I feel the same with all of the many seedlings. Yeah. So, yeah. And the thinning process too. Yeah. So thank you. Angie,
Yeah, we always do horrible with the thinning process. We end up with a whole bunch of little tiny carrots because we can't stand to pull them out.
yeah.
I've been, since I saw the email saying this is what this month was going to be on, and I've been thinking about energetically what seeds do I want to nurture in myself and in the world. And I think right now, this week, I may have a new one every week. You don't know. But this week, it's possibility. And especially to nurture possibility when it looks like there's no options. So, if you all will hold that in the field with me, I would be grateful.
Thank you, Angie. Yeah. That's perfect with seedlings. We've seen this in some of our past presentations, and Robin saw it today on a hike in a burned um, stretch of land. But the seedlings will wait. It looks like there's no hope, or it looks like land is desolate, or how will it grow? But they do. They have such magic and power. So we're holding the possibility when it looks like there's no hope. Yeah, how loud. Mm. Robin?
Yes, I'm a bit addicted to seeds myself, and it's so hard to not grow too many, and it's so hard to thin them out. Last year, I planted so many sunflowers because I simply wouldn't throw them away. I didn't germinate any because I know they're going to come up all over the yard, and I'm really going to attempt to not get too carried away. But I love starting things. We're not at home, or Elizabeth would have got a lot more pictures today of all my little containers of things starting, and the fabric over the raised beds lets us start when we've been down to like 25, 24 degrees, but just that little bit of fabric. I have radishes and lettuce and bok choy have all come up, and peas. So I love getting a head start on things. And this Elizabeth said, we were hiking around our favorite lake up here in the Methow Valley. About a quarter of the trail was pretty severely burned last summer. And it's the first time we've hiked the whole trail since the burn. And there were just huge patches of the bluebells and buttercup, yellow bells, and a few shooting stars that just looking at that, it just gives so much hope. the severely burned areas, there's nothing yet, but it's patchy. So there's already life starting in many of the areas that are burned. And that's such a good feeling to know that life's beginning again.
Thank you, Robin. Mm. Mm. Yeah, Shoots of Hope. That was the title that you gave those photos. We'll share them next week, but it's perfect with Angie's intention. Yeah, thank you. Mm. Are there any other intentions or any people that we want to help bring into this powerful field, this healing field, this field of growth? Oh, yeah, Suan.
Yes, I'm having a bit of a tough week, and what you shared, Angie, was I just needed to hear that. I found out that Bodhi has broken a tooth, and her blood work doesn't show that it's really, probably a safe thing to have anesthesia because she's 18. And so I need to look to the possibilities that she can heal in another way for us, at least not be in pain. I had her with an animal communicator yesterday, and she has a lot of achiness, and I noticed that she's missing when she's a jumper, and she missed getting in a chair. And today I've noticed her hind legs are collapsing sometimes when she's coming through down the stairs. So I have a lot of anxiety and sadness, and I started singing Every Little Cell song to her today to cheer myself up, and just thank you, Angie, for speaking, just seeing, looking, and being open to the possibilities for a very good quality of life going forward for Bodhi, for whatever time she has. So thank you. And I just would like to put her in the field that, we're going to give her so much love and chi that she'll be comfortable and not in pain.
Thank you, Suan. We're holding Bodhi and her tooth and all the little cells and the joints, the muscles, anything that aches. Mm. And that rejuvenating energy of spring, renewal. Mm. 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 Mm.
I'd like to put Patty, who lost her husband suddenly about a week ago, and also Jane, who's suffering from a terminal illness, and Laura, who's losing her eyesight.
Mm. Thank you, Karen. We're holding Patty, Jane, Laura, and all of their loved ones.
I'd like to put my friend Lisa here in the field. She's fighting a very, very serious illness while her mother is actively dying.
Mm. Thank you, Pamela. We're holding Lisa and her mom and all the caregivers for anyone that's been mentioned. Mm. Mm. Mm.
I'd like to put Ben in the field. It's his birthday tomorrow. There he
Happy
is.
birthday.
Yay. He gets the biomat. This time, however many years ago, 25 years ago or something, his mom was in the hospital getting ready to birth him, and I was just feeling really grateful that that birth went well and that he came out healthy enough. And anyway, yeah. So how loud?
Oh, what did he say?
I don't know.
So I'm cuddled up in my little bed.
He's cuddled up in his bed. Yeah.
Reenacting the birth story.
Yeah. Anyway,
He's having a little heat mat. Sometimes you
yeah,
put heat mats on.
he's back in the womb. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, grateful to his mom and his dad and all of his doctors. No, seriously, you never know what's going to happen. So anyway, yeah.
It's really true. Oh, that birthing energy, that pushing forth. I mean, that's
Right? I mean, yeah, not all the seeds like come up and it doesn't work. So yeah, just grateful.
Agreed. I was thinking the same thing earlier. I was like, it's so many seeds. Like I had a whole tray of 2 seed packets and I have 5.
Yeah.
It's like 5 little, they're strong, but 5 little ones. Yeah, it's really, we don't know.
No.
Yeah. Thank you. Happy birthday. And hello for Wendy, Ben's mom.
Yeah, hello for Wendy.
Hola. Hola. We're just sharing any intentions or anything we want to bring into this beautiful beginning healing field with seedlings in the spring. Yeah. Oh. And unless anyone has anything else. Oh, yeah, Robin. Yep.
I
Oh,
have
Greg.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Seedlings. Our yard has tree seedlings popping up all over the place, and when I think about potential, and Angie's idea about potential, one single tree. When I think of all that one single tree provides, with its food, beauty, or birds, nature, that kind of thing, it's really hard to pull one out. So I ended up potting them, and sometimes I have too many. And then winter comes and there's nobody to give them to yet, or nobody wants them yet. And so I really have a hard time, and so I get them all ready, and they make it over the winter, and it's really cool. I just gave away a whole batch from last year to someone, and now I can start potting some more trees.
When he gets the pots back.
When we get the pots back.
He once gave away, what, 75
No,
trees?
90 some.
90 some little trees. When we first moved in, the yard was full of them. And that was 25 years ago. And I mean, we haven't talked to that person in a long time, but all of them lived, and they're now 25 years old. And it would be wonderful to go and see that property. Because sometimes I get irritated because you just get so many pots everywhere. But I have to admit that he has saved a lot of trees, and there's a lot of trees from our place. We have some here in our property here that we brought, and we gave the whole bunch last week to this young family that have a big piece of property, and they'll take anything we grow. So it's awesome.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
That is inspirational. Okay, Craig, I was just noticing a lot of these gorgeous oak seedlings in my yard, and they're like my favorite oak tree. And I was thinking about doing that, and then I was thinking that I was crazy. Now I'm going to do it. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, someone will love them. You're totally right. Yeah, there's all
Yeah.
sorts of habitat restoration and stuff. Anyway, yeah, why not? Yeah. What
Cool.
kind of trees are you, all types, or is there a particular type of tree?
See, there's evergreens, there's some cedars, there's some Doug firs, ponderosa pines,
Mountain ash,
spruce, lots
Okay.
of mountain ash, oak trees,
Forest. A
um,
forest. Okay.
sumac, uh,
red osier dogwood, just yeah,
oh yeah, and
quite a list.
yeah, quite a list. Nine
Thank
bar.
you. Thanks for the inspiration.
I want to go forward with that, or backwards with that too. 2 years ago on Earth Day, I helped plant seeds at one of the conservation lakes here. And last year when I walked near them, I thought, we planted like 200 little pine trees, and I thought, I don't see any of them. I was kind of looking and kind of bummed out. Well, today walking, I could count about 15. They were just enough bigger and enough more life shining from them that it was like, oh, look at last year they were hiding, and now they're like you talked about with the seedlings. Last year they must have still been not quite ready to step forward, but today they were definitely stepped forward. So I'm so glad, Craig, that your trees are stepping forward all over.
I love that too, the image of all of these little baby trees going forth and rooting and growing. Hola. Hola. Yeah, Jeannie.
Here on the East Coast, we're experiencing some freezes tonight, but our seedlings have started, and of course, we have lots of the early blooming forsythia and all the flowering trees. But I live not too far from the Delaware River, where Washington Crossing is, the national park area, and then further up along that same river area is Bowman's Tower, which was an overlook tower from early colonial days. And there's a Bowman's Preserve where not only are the birds there, but all of the seedlings have started to grow. And there's some outdoor covering and times for us to go pick up plants, of course, since it's after Easter, pick up our plants and decide where we'd like to have them in our yards. So just want to send happy energy to all of the East Coast growth that we have going on here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. So much life. Yeah, we're sending Howla love and this powerful field to all the East Coast growth. Thank you, Jeannie. Howla. Yeah.
I drove to Vermont today, and I woke up this morning and it was snowing. And the only thing that I have two things in blossom. The Andromeda that I sent the photo of that was coated in crystalline rain, freezing rain a month ago or so. They survived that. The buds survived that, and they're blossoming. And I have some little purple crocuses, and that's it. And it was amazing to look at the trees because the snow was a wet kind of a freezing rain mixture snow was attaching itself to the trees and the branches, and you had these white auras of snow, and everything else was bare ground, and the mountains were pretty much bare, but except for this white outline that was accumulating. And then sometimes there were some really tight red buds with the white snow next to them, and it was really striking. So there's beauty even in this deep freeze that we've come back into after, some 70-degree days. So it's going to come. And oh, my garlic came up. My garlic is that tall now. So it's here. It's coming.
Thank you, Suan. It brings that resilience with the hope that we mentioned earlier. Yeah. And garlic. We all love garlic. So we love garlic updates and yeah. Thank you. Howla to the freezes and all that survives them and what comes up after they pass. Thank you.
We're a little slow here this season. We've had a real lack of moisture. And a lot of the grass areas around that are usually greening by this time are not. However, when I look out the window here, we have a gorgeous aspen tree that's blossoming. And I walk every day and I've seen no wildflowers coming up yet. But I've spotted a couple dandelions. So send some rain.
Send some rain to nurse little seedlings. Yes, holding space for rain and water and moisture. And we're holding that aspen and its buds and all the wildflowers that are just about to pop up. And dandelions. I love dandelions. Thank you, Gary. Hello. Yeah, Lily.
So where we are, I'm sorry I'm late. I only slept a few hours last night, so my timing isn't really off today. We had another 8 or 9 inches of snow last night. And I know everything is getting ready underground and it's just going to burst forth. We're not expecting any warm temperatures until the 17th of the month into double digits. So before anything, because we have a tremendous amount of snow coverage. But I'm always fascinated in the spring about the new growth and how everything grows. And one of the things that really fascinates me is the Indian ghost pipe, which lives in a symbiotic relationship with the trees because it has no chlorophyll. So it's fed by a tree, and it's a plant. It's pure white, and you can actually put it in alcohol and make a tincture for pain, and it's quite powerful. It's a traditional medicine. It's a you can read about it, and it is fascinating. And then we do on our property up in Biscotasik up north, we do get these lady slippers, which it takes 7 years for the seed underground before it pops up into lady slippers. And last year, and there are, and you don't want to pick them because that seed will eventually, with the help of the ants, eventually get buried somehow. And we've had a number of them popping up, and we have the pink ones. They also come, I believe, in a white, but we don't have the white ones. And so we have about a mile, 1.25 kilometer trail from our place where my mother was born to where we have a camp right now on our 75 acres there. And you'll see them popping up, and it's amazing. And we'll see the, I can't remember what the name of them is called. Dogwood flowers. And the whole forest floor last year was covered in white. And it was amazing. And it was fascinating. And that brought me back to a memory when we were first married. My mother gave me a set of porcelain dishes, and I always loved them. But porcelain is porcelain, and they deteriorate with age. And they had dogwood flowers on them. And and it's like, I wonder why, because she probably saw those flowers when she was a kid there. And that was really a special meaning, but you never explained that to me. But I figured that out after a gazillion years now. But I know everything is anxious to grow because, like all my house plants, they're trying to sprout forth new growth here. So I've got great hope this is going to be an excellent growing year with lots of seedlings popping up all over the place, and which seedlings do. And I'm really inspired about your story about your history of potting up the trees. That is really, really, really wonderful. I've done something like that with the eastern white pines, northern eastern white pines, and I got them and put them in certain areas. Oh, no, sorry, with the cedars and put them in certain areas in the forest floor. And it's all exciting. And there's so many different, all the fungi world is going out, and I'm fascinated by that. Walking in the forest and seeing all these numerous little fungus popping up, always finding something different and unique. Thank you very much. I'll try to be on time next week. I'll try to sleep.
Oh, and we're glad you're here whenever you arrive.
Oh.
Howla. Thank you for sharing.
It was
Oh,
3:30 last night, and I still hadn't fallen asleep, and I got up early. Okay, thank you, Bill.
And we can bring that rest, that intention for deep rest into the field as well. Probably we could all use some of that. Howla. Howla for all the beautiful plants that you brought into our field. Yeah, I'm going to look into some of them. I didn't realize the lady slipper spent 7 years underground. That's when I have challenging problems that need a long time, I'm going to connect to the lady slipper. Yeah. Yeah.
That is beautiful. I never thought of that but you're right. Just connect and the survival and and these plants too, where my ancestors, because my grandparents settled on the land in the early 1900s from Finland, and it's like I always go to like the big white pine we have. It's huge. My husband and I put our two hands together, and we can just barely get our arms around it, and that's right behind our camp. And I talk to the tree about my back to it, and I give it a kiss and a hug. And I say, "You saw my family. You've got all these stories." We call it the matriarch, because it's so huge, eh? And it's yeah. And then it drips sap a bit, and I always have to go taste the sap too. I have a little relationship with the tree, and I actually connect with the energy from here as well to the tree. So yeah. Okay, that's it. I'll stop talking.
It's a beautiful tree, and it's in the field with us also. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for all of the beautiful seedlings and plants and trees that have already been shared. I look forward to all of the plants and trees that arise this month. It's going to be very rich. So thank you.
I'll mention too, Megan had reminded me of Baker's Creek, which is actually headquartered near us. It's like based out of Mansfield, Missouri, which is like 35 minutes from our house.
Yep.
And we've been there. It's an amazing giant library of all these heirloom seeds and stuff. A beautiful store, and their grounds are enormous. They have a lot of like greenhouses and stuff, but they have this whole like 19th century town set up where there's like horses and there's like a blacksmith there, and there's like all this stuff going on. They've got little people playing banjos and stuff. Yeah, they've got all kind, yeah.
An apothecary.
Yeah. All this stuff. I mean, it's really a cool place. I mean, it's like stepping back in time to go there. And so, if anyone ever wants to come to Missouri, it's a must see. So,
I'm there. Thank you for the invitation. Woohoo!
Yeah, my 5 little strong I have little lavenders from Baker's Creek right now that are slowly, they're about this big right now. They're, yeah, very, well, that's probably even bigger. They're very tiny right now, but they're
coming.
they're here. They're in the field with us, little lavenders. Yeah. Ah, well, unless there's anything else that wants to be said, we also know that everything is in the field, visible and invisible seedlings. Then we will transition into our consciousness field setting, where we'll strengthen this already beautiful healing field. So go ahead and find your most comfortable posture, seated, standing, or laying down, whatever feels good to you right now. Just checking in with yourself. Oh, taking a few deep breaths, maybe sighing. And moving the body a little bit as you find your comfortable posture. Could roll the shoulders, just whatever wants to move as the body settles into its special spot. Once you're comfortable, check in with all the places that are supported beneath you, supported by furniture, the house, the earth, everything that receives our weight, and allow our gravity, our heft to kind of sink into those support structures. Feeling that we're held and supported. And we can connect in with the little seedling who does the same thing when it's planted in the earth. It's cradled by that nourishing soil. And we have that same energetic root system that reaches down through our building and into the earth. And we can feel that energy flowing up through our roots in the earth, through the bottoms of our feet, and the legs, and the hips, rising up the spine, through the torso, the neck, and the head, and filled with earth energy. And our spine lengthens, the chin gently tucks, and we feel the crown of the head lifting toward the sky, feeling the sunlight. And maybe clouds roll in. We feel gentle rain, just connecting. Connecting into our environment. The crown of the head is open and receiving heavenly energy, flowing through the top of the head, down the spine, in the torso, mingling with earth energy. And together our baby hearts open, and we hold this gentle invitation for any seeds, physical, energetic, anything that arises now and as this time of spring turns to summer. Just a light, light hold. And we can invite this awareness of our intention, of our hearts, of this time together, our presence, to flow into the center of the head. We can bring the same awareness to the center of the head. Observing what is, observing what may arise. Present and patient. And we can feel this awareness radiate from the center of the head, filling the head inner space, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and jaw, observing any tension and inviting it to soften into a gentle smile. And the ears, all held in this patient, observant gaze. We can invite this intentional awareness of the head to open and soften, expanding and releasing, and letting go. And our awareness can move into the throat, bringing that patient observer into the throat inner space, all the cells and tissues held and observed. Expanding and flowing through the entirety of the neck. Noticing if the neck relaxes under this loving, patient gaze. And the neck inner space opens and softens, expanding and letting go. And the awareness moves into the shoulders, any tension in the shoulders, observing. The awareness flows through the upper arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists, and hands. The inner space of the shoulders and arms and hands held by this patient, loving observer. The shoulders, arms, hands soften and open, and letting go. And the awareness moves into the chest, holding the chest at first in its entirety. And then noticing the breath. The receiving and releasing of precious air. Noticing the heart, the rhythm of the heart. The breasts, all the tissues of the chest. Held in patience and love. And the chest inner space opens, unfurls, and softens, letting go. And the awareness flows into the abdomen, gazing upon our beautiful organs, present, patient, inviting the subtle songs of the organs to reveal themselves and harmonize. Feeling the entirety of all of the organs, healthy and happy, singing together within this patient, loving gaze. And just noticing if now or in the future the organs have anything they want to share, any messages. And thanking them as the organs soften, the songs gentle, open, and letting go. And the awareness flows into the spine, the beautiful, supple spine. Feeling the neck, the upper back, the middle back, and the low back. Observed with this patient, loving, present gaze. And the inner space of the spine opens, softens, and lets go. The awareness flows into the hips, the pelvic girdle, and the hip joints. Observing what's present. Mm. Holding the inner space of the hips and pelvis with patience and love. And feeling that radiate out through the thighs, the precious knees, calves, shins, ankles, and the feet. Feeling the bottoms of the feet, remembering our roots, expanding deep into the earth, holding us in the fertile soil of our Mother Earth. And feeling that fertility, that promise, that possibility flowing up through the feet, merging with the lower body. As the lower body softens, opens, let's go. And our awareness can flow into our wholeness, our entirety, observing ourselves just as we are, and observing what arises, transforms, what grows, even what decays, the full process. Gazing at our entirety, feeling our wholeness, connected, the oneness, the vastness of the collective consciousness field. Here, together, supported, supporting, merging and transforming. And we hold all the possibility, the new life that's ready to rest in our field and to grow and blossom in its time. And we watch with love and patience, allowing what wants to be, and releasing what's ready to be released. Inviting ourselves to trust the process, to feel the process, receive it and release it. Check in and see if you'd like to stay resting here as a little seedling in this field. Exiting the meditation whenever you're ready. Otherwise, invite this awareness, this patience, this love, this hope to flow into the body, into the hands, the feet, the limbs, the torso, and the head. Inviting the wonder of this field, of our intentions, our connections, to sink into the cells of the body, the spaces of the body, singing and resonating and integrating as this night moves forward and the day tomorrow and the days ahead, as the spring flows and the summer draws nearer. We give our deep gratitude. We stack hands palm over the navel. Taking a few deep breaths in the belly. Feeling the hands rise and fall. Thank you to all of our teachers, all of the healers, all of the wisdom traditions, all of the practitioners, all of the seedlings of all varieties, physical, energetic, all of the seedlings, and the environments that nurture them, and the observers that provide the patient, loving gaze. Haula, haula. And when you're ready, release the hands, wiggle the fingers and toes, move the body. Open the eyes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you all. Yeah, thank you all for
Thank you, Elizabeth and everyone, and
Thank
Alex.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, and we'll be back next week with seedlings. If you have anything that you want to share before then, feel free to message me and Megan. So thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Sleep well.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.